Good afternoon and welcome to this activity. And today the theme is COVID vaccination challenges and education for vaccine hesitancy. You all know the vaccine is basically for the prevention of any disease. And you all know about the COVID-19, and I need not to tell you anything more because you are also experiencing uh, the experience of with these patients who are being admitted to your hospitals also. And you know there are so far there were two waves. So second wave is still going on and close to the end also. The first wave, which was not that virulent as the second one. The first wave started in the March, April and remained in December and January 2021. And the second wave now it's just going on and going to finish now, I think in few weeks or so. So now we are predicting that the third wave is going to come also. And it would be a different virus also. For the second wave, it was the Delta variant. And the Delta variant was much more virulent and much more infective also, and it's shown some vaccine escape phenomenon also. Now, the third wave is coming, and it is expected that the virus could be the Delta plus. And it is much more infective, means giving the infection to the other people, and much more in comparison to even the Delta virus. And vaccine escape phenomena may also be seen with this virus also. But nevertheless, the vaccine is in fact effective in majority of the people also who are getting the vaccine against any kind of the virus, including the variant viruses also. You all know that when you give a vaccine, it is an antigen of a part of a virus, and most you all know the structure of the vaccine also, virus. It is a spike protein, and the antigen is taken from the spike protein. And sometimes it is the whole virus, inactivated virus also, or you just take uh, the mRNA and you inject, and then they produce the protein, desired protein also. So that is a kind of the antigen, and they produce the antibodies. And these antibodies, the first of all, they neutralize the virus. That's how they protect you from virus side effects also. And you know, as the virus is evolving, it is producing more harm, and it is infecting or involving more and more organs. I would say nowadays COVID-19 infection has become almost a multi-organ infection also, causing the multi-organ disease. The question is how long these antibodies they remain in the body. The recent the data they show maybe up to 6 months or maybe in the 9 months, and there are the group where these antibodies they are not formed, particularly those who are elderly people or those who are having the comorbidity, for example, renal failure or the cardiac failure. In those people, the level of the antibody achieved is very less, or they don't in these people. So, so whatever antibodies is formed, or once they have shown the response that the antibody is being made, that is good enough. The recent article or the recent data suggests this immunity is long lasting. And the one paper which is published in the Nature, they have demonstrated that they are the B cells, long lasting B cells in the bone marrow of the people who have recovered from the infection, and they have the lasting memory of the antigen or the virus. Once again, even if there is no antibody, once the body comes in contact with the virus, they start producing the antibodies. Therefore, they are giving you the long-lasting immunity also. So I think it is expected that the vaccine should also behave in a similar manner as of the low viral infection also. So that gives you the importance of the vaccine. That's what I'm saying. जितना मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि कितने फायदे हैं इसके, लॉन्ग लास्टिंग इम्यूनिटी मिलती है, तो सिर्फ यही बताने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ मैं आपको कि जो वैक्सीन है इसको लगवाना बहुत ज़रूरी है। आप सब लोग डॉक्टर हैं, आप तो लगा ही रहे हैं, लेकिन इसको जो मैसेज जो है स्प्रेड आउट होना चाहिए टू एवरी कॉर्नर, टू एवरी वन। आप अपने बच्चों के थ्रू भी करवा सकते हैं, फैमिली के थ्रू भी करा सकते हैं, जहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे भी करा सकते हैं। And those who are in a positions, then they can have the other means to spread out the message कि vaccine is very very important and must be taken. चाहे वो 1 डोज हो या 2 डोज हो, एटलीस्ट 1 डोज लें, फिर उसके बाद सेकेंड डोज मे बी द 4 to 6 or the 16 weeks, whatever it may be, you can take that one also. एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक है आज के उसमें, जो कि डॉक्टर सोनाली वर्मा, हु इज द सीनियर रेजिडेंट इन द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ द एंडोक्राइनोलॉजी, and she will discuss the social vaccine. I think the concept is the same, that the prevention from the virus. Vaccine gives you the prevention from the virus. The scab, COVID appropriate behavior also give you the prevention from the virus. You put only the masks, then you keep the distance of the 2 meters, the 2 gaj, and then you wash your hands also. So what I'm trying to say, it is a medical vaccine I am talking about, and the Sonali will discuss about this one, social vaccine. And I'll tell you one thing, when you have both the things, it makes 2 plus 2 equal to 5. Therefore, even I am not only stressing the vaccine, medical vaccine, I am also stressing on the social vaccine also. क्योंकि अगर आप वैक्सीन लगाते हैं और उसके साथ में मास्क भी लगाते हैं, डिस्टेंसिंग मेंटेन रखते हैं, तो चांसेस ऑफ गेटिंग इन्फेक्शन इज वेरी रिमोट. दैट्स व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल यू अबाउट दीज टू थिंग्स. और एक कंसेप्ट और भी होता है, वैक्सीन से आपको जो फायदा मिलता है वो मिलता है हर्ड इम्यूनिटी का. हर्ड इम्यूनिटी ये होता है कि वायरस जब एक इंडिविजुअल के पास जाता है, जाता क्या मतलब उसके इन्फेक्ट करने एक्सपोज होता है इंडिविजुअल, और वायरस फाइंड्स कि द इंडिविजुअल या पर्सन इज ऑलरेडी वैक्सीनेटेड or already immune, either because of the vaccine or it is because of the natural infection, तो वो वहीं पे डाई आउट कर जाता है. तो कहने का मतलब है कि एक बेसिक लेवल ऑफ इम्यूनिटी एक अगर मेंटेन रहती है और वायरस इज एनकाउंटरिंग द पीपल हु आर ऑलरेडी इम्यून, तो देयर इज अ ब्रेक इन द ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ द वायरस. सो जो चेन है ये ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ वायरस की, वो बंद हो जाती है. तो इस लेवल ऑफ इम्यूनिटी को, व्हेन इट इज ब्रेकिंग द चेन ऑफ द वायरल ट्रांसमिशन, यू कॉल इट द हर्ड इम्यूनिटी. सो आई वुड से कि इन दीज वर्ड्स मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा आपको, वैक्सीनेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, CAB is much more important, and because it gives you double protection, I would say. तो आपको, I think everyone should be for that and spread out this information as far as possible with your all efforts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the encouraging words and letting us know we all agree that there is an importance of both the medical vaccine and the social vaccine. Both of them are very important, and as you said, 2 plus 2 then becomes 5. So now I'll request Dr. Afzal to introduce the speakers.
Thank you very much, sir, for very nicely summarizing the COVID infection, the importance of vaccination, and why is it extremely important for every individual to get vaccinated so that it is able to give us the protection to the entire community. At the same time, sir, it's very nicely you have stressed कि इसके साथ साथ हमारा बिहेवियर उतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट है, और जब दोनों साथ चीजें मिल जाएंगी तो उसका रिजल्ट हमें और भी अच्छा और बेहतर मिलेगा. आप लोग सब जानते हैं, सबसे पहले तो आई वुड लाइक टू I am very thankful for all the speakers who have joined for the webinar today. मैं आप सबसे ये कहना चाहूँगा और मेरी ये दरख्वास्त रहेगी कि जो हमारे स्पीकर्स हैं, फैकल्टी, नर्सेज, टेक्नीशियंस और हमारे पास एक सीनियर रेजिडेंट भी हैं आज जो अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करेंगे आप लोगों के साथ, और उन सब लोगों ने पिछले कुछ महीनों में और साल में इतना एक्सपीरियंस गेन कर लिया है कि हमें पूरा भरोसा है कि आपके मन में जो भी जिज्ञासा होगी या कोई भी आशंका कोविड वैक्सीन से रिलेटेड होगी, उसका ये बहुत ही अच्छे से आपको जवाब भी देंगे। और आप आज जब आप घर जाएंगे, वापस जाएंगे या इस वेबिनार को, इस मीटिंग को छोड़ेंगे, तो उसके बाद आप और लोगों को भी एनकरेज कर सकते हैं कि वैक्सीनेशन हमारे लिए कितना आवश्यक है। आप लोग सब जानते हैं कि कोई भी अगर आप प्रोग्राम चलाना चाहते हैं तो इट इज ऑलवेज अ टीम वर्क, और इसीलिए हमारे SGPJ संस्थान ने बहुत ही अच्छा काम किया है, बहुत ही लीडिंग काम किया है कोविड वैक्सीनेशन प्रोग्राम में। पर ये भी एक टीम वर्क ही है, और जो अभी भी टीम वर्क चल रहा है, इसमें हमारी सीनियर फैकल्टी इन्वॉल्व है, हमारी सीनियर नर्सेज इन्वॉल्व हैं, हमारे रेजिडेंट डॉक्टर्स इन्वॉल्व हैं, हमारे टेक्नीशियंस इन्वॉल्व हैं, और उसी की वजह से ये प्रोग्राम इतना सक्सेसफुल हो रहा है। आज हमारे पास बहुत ही लीडिंग स्पीकर्स हैं। हमारे पास डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इम्यूनोलॉजी से सीनियर फैकल्टी डॉक्टर विकास अग्रवाल हैं। हमारे पास डेप्यूटी नर्सिंग सुपरिटेंडेंट मिस नीलम खोकर जी है। इनके साथ मैंने काम भी किया है RCS में, और मुझे मालूम है कि ये बहुत ही डायनेमिक और एनर्जेटिक हैं। इन्होंने बहुत ही अच्छा काम किया है इस कोविड वैक्सीनेशन प्रोग्राम को SGPGI में आगे ले जाने में। हमारे पास डॉक्टर रूपाली खन्ना है जो एक सीनियर फैकल्टी हैं फ्रॉम द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कार्डियोलॉजी। हमारे पास टेक्नीशियन मिस इंदु कुमारी जी हैं फ्रॉम द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ गैस्ट्रोएंट्रोलॉजी, और हमारे साथ हैं डॉक्टर सोनाली वर्मा जो बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक पे अपना एक्सपीरियंस और अपनी बात रखेंगी, जिसका टाइटल है सोशल वैक्सीन। तो सबसे पहले, और इसके साथ साथ लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, एक हमारे बहुत ही अच्छे स्पीकर है लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल डॉक्टर प्रसाद फ्रॉम द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पल्मोनरी मेडिसिन KGMC, जो अपनी बात कोविड-19 वैक्सीनेशन गवर्नमेंट का क्या पर्सपेक्टिव है उस पे आपके सामने अपनी बात रखेंगे। और ज्यादा समय ना लेते हुए मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि डॉक्टर प्रसाद फ्रॉम द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पल्मोनरी मेडिसिन KGMC, प्लीज गो अहेड विद योर प्रेजेंटेशन ऑन कोविड-19 वैक्सीनेशन, द गवर्नमेंट पर्सपेक्टिव।
Thank you, Professor Deeman. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Okay. So, good afternoon to all the panelists and the viewers and the listeners across the state. In fact, this seminar is a much need of the day. As you know, that the COVID has taken the world by tsunami, and India is no exception, with more than 30 million people affected by this deadly disease, with a mortality or fatality which is 1.2, and 4 lakh people succumbing to this, more so in the second wave. As Dr. Deeman has told, that the first wave was of a lesser severity. The second wave was much more ferocious, much more intense, and more number of people died. And this could be attributed to the mutant variety that is bound to happen when there's a mass replication of the virus, because with the repeated replication of the virus, you have emergence of mutant varieties, and the Delta variety and the Delta variant is supposed to be highly infectious and also virulent, infecting large number of people through the air, even though they may not be coughing or sneezing, and then also having the power to evade the immunosurveillance and destruction of the body. But what is much more interesting is the development of memory cells, as highlighted by Dr. Deeman in that paper, which appeared in Nature, where the B cells have developed a permanent memory. And that is a very good sign to say that if you get an infection or you get vaccinated by antigenic material, then that is going to have an immunity which is not only a short-acting immunity, but also long-acting one. And that is the fundamental principle of vaccination. And as you know that this is virus, therefore you have to have two types of immunity. One is the cell-mediated immunity, which is bound to have a larger impact and a larger duration. And the other one is the humoral immunity, where you are neutralizing antibodies, which actually affect the virus and try to contain the disease. So therefore, the impact of vaccination has been proved beyond scientific, by every means, by various studies and with the past experience, that it is bound to decrease the intensity of the pandemic. Number one, it is bound to decrease the number of new cases, the number of serious cases. And there is no way otherwise but to get mass vaccination done. And this vaccine against the virus is very safe because there has been tremendous improvement in the technology of vaccine production. And today, at a very short notice, as you understand, in a matter of, say, almost 10 months, we have come out with so many vaccines. And India has the credit of actually, producing two effective vaccines, which have been approved by the WHO by 15th of February this year. And during this last 4 months, you'll be happy to know that we have vaccinated almost 3 crore population, 3 crore doses have been given. And it is not a very small measure. But if you want to vaccinate the large number of people who are at risk, then we have to vaccinate almost daily about 90 lakh population. And slowly we are seeing that the vaccination rate is picking up. Now we get the report that 60, 70 lakh people are getting vaccinated. What does it mean? It means that the more and more people are coming and accepting the vaccination. And this is the message the government wants to convey. Vaccine is very safe, and more people should come forward to get vaccinated. And there is no side effect of vaccination. These side effects are very minimal. Now there comes an important question: which vaccine is effective? Whether it is Covishield, Covaxin, Sputnik vaccine, mRNA vaccines. But fundamentally remember that it is the vaccination against the virus, to a component of the virus, or the complete virus. And ultimately, what decides the effectiveness of vaccination is the antigenic dose, and also the antigenic potential, and also the body's ability to produce the antibodies and the cell-mediated immunity. In that respect, all the 4 types of vaccines which are in the scenario today, they are effective. They have reduced the severity by almost 100%. The deaths have come down by about 95%. So those who get infection, they get a very mild infection. So ladies and gentlemen, take it for sure that vaccination is safe. And this is the fundamental message the government of UP, the government of India wants to convey. Now, are we prepared with so much of vaccine to, the vaccinate almost 100, crore population? That is 1 billion population, with demands that daily we have to vaccinate almost 90 lakh people. Yes, the results as on today are quite encouraging. And Dr. Dhiman, who is in the COVID-19 panel, will be able to tell us exactly how many people have been vaccinated yesterday in the state of UP. But the data is highly encouraging, what I want to tell you. So what does it mean? From your point of view, as healthcare professionals across the state, working in these 52 medical colleges who are the part of this webinar, you have to send this message to the community that please come forward, and also to the government that prepare the infrastructure so that we should be able to vaccinate the remaining population by the end of this year. And if you vaccinate the remaining population by the end of the year, or if the remaining population get infected, but not so severely, and also get vaccinated, the impact will be much larger and much deeper. And that is what I would like to tell you, that the pandemics have taught us that the infection, silent infection or vaccination is the only way by which we can contain the disease. We can contain the disease in the absence of an effective chemoprophylaxis. We all know that if you have an effective chemoprophylaxis, you can give, this small doses of the doses of this chemoprophylactic antiviral agents for the duration when they're in an endemic area, and you can contain the disease. But we don't have an effective, the antiviral drug that we had against the H1N1 with oseltamivir. So the moment we get that cocktail of medicine, which can be, given effectively to the symptomatic patients, and also we have a vaccination policy in hand, I'm sure we shall be able to win this pandemic, and the measures which the government has taken so far in this direction is quite encouraging. That demands the most important, responsibility on the part of the healthcare professionals. The healthcare professionals should understand that this COVID pandemic has to be dealt in the same manner that we have dealt in the past. And also, when we treat the acute cases with ARDS type of features, the standard protocols for managing these ARDS patients should be strictly adhered with, judicious use of antibiotics, the judicious use of steroids, and and proper ventilatory settings and oxygenation and fluid management. And if you can improve upon this, I can assure you that we can reduce the mortality also, even if you get a severe infection, which can occur and is bound to occur because of the experience of the past. This is how a pandemic behaves. The pandemic behaves in such a manner that you have repeated waves till the majority get immune either by vaccination or by infection. So we have to have a two-way strategy. The one is that track and treat the patients and give them an appropriate management. And the second is vaccinate the large number of population. And we can win the battle against the pandemic as we have won in the past against the H1N1. I have finished my presentation because the time is also one of the factors, and we have a large number of panelists also who would like to contribute.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad. Thank you for pointing out the responsibilities of the government and the healthcare professionals as well as the people. And everyone is playing its own part to try to curb the pandemic and put it down so that COVID does not spread further. Thank you for your kind words. And now I request the next speaker, Dr. Vikas Agarwal from the Department of Clinical Immunology and Rheumatology, SGPGIMS, to talk about COVID-19 vaccination myth and facts. We all know that there are a lot of myths and related queries related to COVID vaccination. All kind of queries come in related to the diseases itself, and even in healthy people, they are worried about whether to take or not to take vaccination and at what time. So I request Dr. Vikas Agarwal to put some light on these. So he'll be talking about the myths and facts.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Vinita, can I share my slides? Can I share this? Okay.
Yes.
So is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Perfect. So as Professor Dhiman has already introduced what is a vaccine, but I'll just reiterate the point that it is a biological product that is used to induce an immune response with the aim to confer protection against the infection or the disease when the host is exposed to pathogen subsequently. Generally, vaccines are antigens that are either derived from the pathogen or they are produced synthetically, because nowadays technology has advanced, so we can produce the recombinant proteins in the lab also, which represent the components of the pathogen against which an immune response, if generated, will be protective. The protection of a vaccine is measured clinically by prevention of infection, reduction in disease severity, or a decreased rate of hospitalization. Uh, can you see the next slide, please? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll just take you back into the history. This is a paper which is published very recently in Nature Reviews in Immunology, where it has been shown that as soon as the vaccinations to common infections were started in England for diseases like diphtheria, polio, Haemophilus influenzae, the incidence or the frequency of the disease went down significantly, almost to negligible levels, clearly indicating that if we vaccinate, we can prevent diseases which can potentially kill the humans. So how does this vaccine induced protection is generated? It is generated by the concept of herd immunity, which Professor Dhiman has already talked about, but I'll just briefly show it here. That as you have on the left side, you can see a lot of blue people out there. These are people who are susceptible. And once a diseased person enters this susceptible population, all the population becomes infected. Even if we start vaccinating the population and the vaccination is not proper, even then a lot of susceptibles are left out, as you can see in the middle diagram, and a lot of people can still develop disease. But if we achieve a threshold for herd protection or herd immunity, then there is a chance that the disease progression or transmission can be stopped. So vaccinations play an important role in generating herd immunity. And this is what is the aim of actually doing the vaccinations for all kind of diseases, including this COVID-19. So how does this protection is generated by giving the vaccination? It is by generating an immune memory, which is induced by the vaccines. And the immune memory depends on sometimes incubation time of the infection. This we are talking of a natural infection, quality of the response, and the level of antibodies which are induced by the memory B cells. Induced memory is characterized by a rapid production of antibodies, which follows the primary antigen exposure. And also the antibody class switches from IgM to IgG. Remember, IgG antibodies are the ones which are protective predominantly. And once after vaccination or after first infection, a re-exposure to the antigen has happened, then the secondary response will always be much greater intensity and of much more affinity antibodies, which will take care of the infection. As you can see in the right-hand diagram, that once a vaccine is given, a primary immune response is generated, which basically crosses the threshold of the antibody titer, which will be protective. But with time, this antibody titer goes down. And after subsequent exposure to, say, a pathogen, if the pathogen has a longer incubation period, then by the time the virus or the pathogen will cause infection significantly, secondary antibody response will be there, which will take care of the infection and will not allow it to mount symptomatic disease. But however, as you can see in the middle picture, if the incubation period is short, then there are chances that despite vaccination, individuals may develop symptomatic disease. There are certain infections like yellow fever, which once they have infected the host, will generate a permanent antibody titers, which stays way above the threshold for protection. So that is how they are protected. Being an immunologist, I will just briefly take you through the immune mechanisms which actually are playing a role when we give vaccination, when we give vaccine. So as soon as the vaccine is introduced either into the skin part or into the muscle part, it contains a lot of vaccine antigens or antigens against which an antibody or an immune response is desired. So these antigens are coupled with adjuvants generally. Adjuvants are certain chemicals which actually causes inflammation so that the antigen presenting cells which are present in the area take up the vaccine antigens effectively, process them, and present them to either T cells with the help of MSC class 2 peptides, whereby CD4 T cells become active. And once these CD4 T cells become active, they give sort of help to the B cells also to produce a memory B cell and also convert the B cells into plasma cells so that a lot of antibodies are produced. Some of these B cells, they or the plasma cells, they go into the bone marrow compartment and reside there, and their activity will be utilized once a second exposure to the pathogen is encountered. In addition, antigen presenting cells also activate CD8 T cells. CD8 T cells kill the viral infected cells. So these are also important. Some of the viral infections are taken care of by the antibodies, whereas others are taken care of by CD8 T cells. As far as COVID is concerned, we really don't know exactly how much role antibodies or CD8 T cells are playing. So just going on to the vaccines which are available for COVID-19, we all know that it is a coronavirus and it's an RNA virus. The problem with RNA viruses is that they have got a very high mutation rate. So and they are genetically sort of unstable. So it always remains a challenge to develop effective vaccines against the RNA viruses. And some of the viruses, when they are actually from the natural infection, if you recover, then the protection is either mediated by antibodies or CD8 T cells or by both. But in case of COVID-19, we really don't know how much role is being played. But from experience over last 15 months, it has been seen that if antibodies are generated against the spike protein of the virus, especially its receptor binding domain, then it provides protective immunity. Just to introduce you, this is a COVID virus with the spike proteins on its envelope or the surface, and it's basically a homotrimer which has contained a receptor binding domain also. And if we can block this receptor binding domain binding to ACE2 receptors which are present on the host cells, we can prevent the infection of the COVID-19. And this is what is being aimed at by generating a lot of COVID-19 vaccines which target this portion of the spike protein. Traditionally, we know that various types of vaccines have been used in past. Common ones are killed vaccines, toxoids, or certain surface molecules, and even attenuated bacteria has been used, especially for Mycobacterium tuberculosis, like in form of BCG. Or there could be an inactivated virus like Salk virus, which is a killed polio vaccine. But nowadays, technology has advanced further, and a lot of recombinant technologies are available to produce proteins or the ways to generate proteins whereby effective immune response can be mounted. So, but keeping in view with the tradition as well as the combination of the new technology, certain vaccines which are available in the world or are under process of development is the inactivated whole SARS-CoV-2 virus. Basically, you culture the virus and treat them with beta-propiolactone, and this actually kills the virus. This is a very easy and a very traditional way of generating the vaccine.
Dr. Vikas, can I interrupt? Can we now just wrap up?
You don't want to listen to this? Okay, no problem. I thought I've got 10 minutes. Okay, so what are the myths and facts about the COVID vaccine? People conceptualize that these vaccines have been developed too fast so that their safety may be of concern. But remember, all the safety issues have been taken care of by the regulatory authorities before giving them a sort of nod to go ahead for the vaccination program. And by this time, millions of people have already received vaccines. So there is no doubt about the safety of these vaccines. People may say that I had already got an infection, so I really do not need any vaccine. Maybe right, but it has been reported that even patients who have got an infection are or have been reported to get reinfection also. So targeted vaccine response may boost immune response so as to minimize the risk of severe disease. People may ask whether I need to maintain the COVID appropriate behavior like mask or maintaining a social distance even after vaccination. Yes, you have to. You cannot avoid that because vaccines are protecting you from getting serious disease, not from getting the infection. So if you do not follow a COVID appropriate behavior, there is a chance that you may still get COVID infection and some of the individuals may still get severe COVID disease. Whether one dose of COVID vaccine is protective against the infection, there is not much data to support this. And whatever recommendations are available internationally and nationally are to take the 2 doses, whatever is available in India. As far as only Johnson and Johnson vaccine is available, which has got only 1 dose vaccine. There is some data or concern whether RNA vaccines can alter my DNA. Absolutely no, because RNA vaccines only are going into the cytoplasm of the cell. They do not enter the nucleus where the DNA is. So there is no chance of getting a DNA alteration by using the RNA vaccines. Whether pregnant or lactating mothers, it is safe to take the vaccine, or yes, it is safe. And rather, I must say that vaccine should be taken by these individuals because it prevents the severe COVID disease in them. Whether we can combine 2 different vaccines so that we get a better immune response against different epitopes of the virus. This is under debate, and I think some of the countries are trying to do this combination also. But today, as of today, there is no such data available. And so we need to just follow a single vaccine 2-dose schedule, which is available in our country. There are reports that vaccines cause blood clots and many people have died. Yes, there are some concerns which have been identified with mRNA vaccines, especially with Johnson & Johnson vaccine in US. There have been reports of blood clots, but its frequency is extremely rare. So the benefit of the vaccine is much more as compared to its side effect. So one should go ahead without much of worrying about the blood clots. There are people who have reported that we have taken vaccine and within few days we have got a COVID infection or we will get COVID infection because it contains a virus. This is not true because vaccines contain only a portion of the viral antigen. They do not contain the whole virus. And even if the whole virus is there, it has been an inactivated virus, which has been made sure that the virus is inactive. So there is no chance of getting infection from the COVID-19 vaccine. Some concern regarding the fertility, especially in females, because there was some doubt about that some of the spike proteins are actually expressed by the syncytin, which is expressed in the placenta and may cause sort of fetal loss, but this has not been found to be correct. Whether vaccination can lead to false RT-PCR positive. This is again not true because vaccines generate antibodies and in no way they can lead to RT-PCR positivity. There are people who said that if I take vaccine and even if 1 dose, and if I get a COVID later on, then I may get a severe disease. This is again not true because there is enough data which suggests that vaccines rather protect you from the severe disease. Even 1 dose is protective, not to that extent which the 2 dose might be. People with comorbidities like hypertension, diabetes, or other diseases or renal failure, should they not take the vaccine. Again, not true. In fact, these are the people who are likely to have adverse outcome to COVID-19 infection. So they are the ones who should really take these vaccines as early as possible. Severe side effects of the vaccines are common. Again, not true. In fact, they are rare. Only minor side effects are there in form of fever, malaise, headache, which can be taken care by paracetamol or antihistaminics. How long the immunity is, 6 or 9 months or maybe more? This is not clear, and people are just observing people who have got vaccines early on, and till we have a final word about it, we really don't know. As of today, there is no consensus on repeated vaccinations to people who had already been vaccinated once, full dose. Which vaccine is better, or should I wait for a better one? Again, this is not true, because all vaccines have good efficacy as reported in clinical trials, and that is why they have been approved by the regulatory authorities. So whichever is available, one should take it as soon as possible. There is some concern that some vaccines against pneumonia like pneumococcal or H. influenzae may protect against COVID-19 also. Again, not true. No such data is available in the scientific literature. Vaccine will reduce the transmission of COVID-19. Whether this is true or not, there is insufficient data presently, but definitely there is a chance that if you are vaccinated, then your disease will be mild and will be of shorter duration. So you will have a lesser potential to transmit the disease to others. So that is all for about myths and facts about the COVID-19. If there are any queries, I will be happy to or try to answer that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vikas Agarwal. That was really nice. You have answered all the questions related to the queries that people have related to the vaccination. As soon as we get questions and queries in the chat box, we will convey it to you. Now we move on to the other speaker. We know that nurses and faculty, residents, everyone has taken a very important part in facing the challenges in vaccination for COVID. I request our nursing personnel, Ms. Neelam Pukar, who is the Deputy Nursing Superintendent and in charge of the vaccination program at SCPG IMS, to talk about the challenges and her experiences in this program, vaccination program at SCPG.
Very warm good afternoon, respected dignitaries. I, Neelam Pukar, in charge of RCH. सबसे पहले तो मैं यही बताऊंगी कि ये एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है, चाहे SGPGI हो और चाहे आपका गवर्नमेंट हो, कि ये जो महामारी आई थी हमारे पास, ये बहुत बड़ी बीमारी है और इसको एक महामारी का रूप दिया गया है, जिसके तहत बहुत से लोग, आज आपने देखा है कि किस तरीके से ये फैली और ऐसे फैली कि पूरे वर्ल्ड के ऊपर ये छा गई और इतनी बुरी तरीके से छाई हुई है कि इसका सोचना मुश्किल हो रहा था कि किस तरीके से इससे हमको बचाया जा सके। और सबसे बड़ी थैंक यू मैं करना मांगती हूँ डायरेक्टर साहब का, जिन्होंने मुझको चूज करा कि मैं वैक्सीनेशन, जब यहाँ पर सेंटर खोला जा रहा था तो उस समय इन्होंने मुझे चूज करा। मैं बहुत बहुत दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ कि मैं कोविड-19 का एक हिस्सा बनने पाई, क्योंकि कोविड-19 में लोगों के लिए इतना डर है, इतना उनके दिल में ऐसा रहता है कि अगर हम इसमें काम करने जाएंगे तो हो सकता है कि हमारी डेथ हो जाए या हमारे साथ कोई प्रॉब्लम हो जाए। लेकिन मैंने वो सब चैलेंजेस को लिया और जब इन्होंने मुझको बताया कि आपको ये काम करना है तो मुझे बड़ी खुशी हुई, क्योंकि इसमें हमको फिर एक टीम इन्होंने ऑर्गेनाइज करी और टीम के साथ काम करना मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा लगा, क्योंकि टीम में जो डॉक्टर अमित गोयल थे वो मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छे रहे, मेरे साथ डॉक्टर धीरज रहे और साथ में डॉक्टर अलका थी। ये 3 लोग हम लोग थे, और भी लोग थे, स्टाफ थी, हमारी CNO मैडम थी, जिन्होंने मेरे साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर बहुत काम करा। उस पीरियड में हम लोग बहुत भाग भाग के काम करते थे और मेरा बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस उस टाइम में, वैक्सीनेशन के टाइम में रहा। और सबसे बड़ी बात ये थी कि जब हमको ये बताया गया कि आपको ये जो मेरे पास RCS2 का एक प्लेस था उसको मेरे को ऑर्गेनाइज करना था, और ऑर्गेनाइज करने के लिए जब मेरे को पता चला कि इसी जगह को मुझे बनाना है तो बहुत बड़ा टास्क था। लेकिन हमारी टीम ने, हमने मिलके उस जगह को हमने वैक्सीनेशन सेंटर बनाया है। और जब वहां पर बनाया तो वहां पर हमने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से उसको ऑर्गेनाइज करा। फिर हमको ये पता चला कि हमको रजिस्ट्रेशन, सबसे पहले रजिस्ट्रेशन करना है। रजिस्टर्ड जब तक नहीं हो पाएंगे तब तक काम नहीं आगे बढ़ सकता था। लेकिन हमने फिर वो भी काम करने के लिए मैंने अपने टीम के साथ बात करी, तो फिर पता चला कि डॉक्टर धीरज बहुत अच्छे, उनके साथ पूरी टीम, क्लर्क, SGPGI के सारे लोग लग गए और सारे लोगों ने मिलकर रजिस्ट्रेशन काउंटर बनाया। वो जो था वो हमारे लाइब्रेरी में था और वहां पर हमारा स्टाफ के साथ ये शुरू होना था वैक्सीनेशन, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट ये चाह रही थी कि जो फर्स्ट लर्नर हैं उन्हीं को पहले ये डोज दिया जाए। तो उसमें हमारा सारा मेडिकल का स्टाफ था और साथ में जो फ्रंट लाइन पे जो पुलिस वाले खड़े थे वो हमारे साथ थे। और उस समय मैं यही सोच रही थी कि रात और दिन मेरे पास एक यही रहता था कि मैं इस चैलेंज को कैसे पूरा करूंगी, कैसे लोगों को वैक्सीन को प्रोवाइड कर पाऊंगी। लेकिन वो भी चीजें हमारे साथ डे बाय डे होती रही और मैंने जब उसको संभाला तो उसमें फिर हमने बहुत अच्छी तरह से ऑर्गेनाइज करा था और उसमें ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए रजिस्ट्रेशन काउंटर, उसके बाद मेरे पास आया कि हम बूथ बनाएंगे और बूथ के अंदर जो थी वो कैसे फैसिलिटी हम लोग दे सकते हैं, कैसे उनको प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं इस चीज के लिए वैक्सीन को। तो फिर बूथ बनाए गए और बूथ में भी स्पेशलिटी ये देखनी थी हमको कि बूथ भी दोनों साइड में हमने रखे, जिसमें एक साइड पे हमारे सारे लेडीज थे और एक तरफ हमारे सारे जेंट्स थे। हमने उसमें भी अपनी लेडीज के लिए पूरी हमने प्राइवेसी का ध्यान रखा और उसमें देखा कि वो लोग प्राइवेसी कर पा रहे हैं कि नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, और वो भी बहुत सक्सेसफुल रहा। और उसके बाद हमको ये देखना था कि हमारे प्री एंड पोस्ट जो वैक्सीनेशन के लिए आएंगे तो हम उनको कहाँ बैठाएंगे, अपने स्टाफ को कहाँ बैठाएंगे। उन स्टाफ के लिए हमने प्री वेटिंग एरिया बनाया, पोस्ट वेटिंग एरिया बनाया। फिर पोस्ट वेटिंग एरिया के बाद वो जो हमारा स्टाफ था, जो लोग बाहर से आ रहे थे, बहुत देर से वेट कर रहे थे, हमने सोचा कि उनके लिए कुछ ऐसा इंतजाम भी हो सके कि जब वो आधा घंटा वहां पर बैठे तो वो लोग क्या करें। तो उसके लिए हमने वहां पर टी के लिए भी इंतजाम करा, क्योंकि ये जो बीमारी थी, ये जो परेशानी थी, ये जो डर था लोगों के अंदर, इसको हमें कम करना था। और हमने ये सोचा कि जिस समय हमारे पास लोग बैठेंगे, क्योंकि जब हमने SGPGI में जब हमने अपना ड्राई रन शुरू करा था तो हम आपको बताना चाहते हैं कि ड्राई रन में भी लोग SGPGI के बहुत डरे हुए थे। और आपको मैं बताती हूँ कि उस समय जब हमने शुरू करा था 5 जनवरी मेरा फर्स्ट था, फिर 8 जनवरी था, फिर 11 जनवरी था ड्राई रन के लिए। और उस समय हमारा स्टाफ जो था वो भी बहुत डरा हुआ था कि पता नहीं क्या हो क्या नहीं हो, क्योंकि सुनने में आता था कि इसको लगाते के साथ ही कार्डियक अरेस्ट हो सकता है, रेस्पिरेटरी अरेस्ट हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है और मर भी सकते हैं, कुछ भी उनके दिमाग में चल रहा था। लेकिन इन सब चीजों को हमने दूर किस तरीके से करा, इन सब चीजों को दूर करा जब हमारे पास ड्राई रन के लिए लोग आए, उन्होंने अपना फीडबैक दिया। उसके बाद जब हमारे पास, जब हमने एक्चुअल अपना 16 जनवरी को फर्स्ट जब हमारे पास लोग आए, जब हमने उनका शुरू करा, तो 16 जनवरी को भी लोग जो थे वो काफी लोग थे, लेकिन उसमें से हमारे पास 50 आए, फिर 50 आए सेकंड डे, फिर आगे बढ़ते गए, फिर जब बढ़ते गए तो 450, फिर उसके बाद बढ़ते गए 500, फिर उसके बाद 1000, फिर हमारा 2000। इस तरीके से हमारा जो था वो टाइम टू टाइम बढ़ता गया और हम उनको देते रहे। और मेरा तो यही है कि ये जो है वैक्सीन के लिए सबसे अच्छी बात ये है कि मैं थैंक्स करना चाहती हूँ गवर्नमेंट को, जो कि उन्होंने ये साइंटिस्ट के द्वारा ये पता लगाया कि किस तरीके से, जिस तरीके से ये फैल रहा है, इसको रोकथाम किस तरीके से करी जाए। और रोकथाम का तरीका सिर्फ एक ही निकला और वो था वैक्सीन। और वैक्सीन के द्वारा ही हम इस बीमारी को खत्म कर सकते हैं और इस देश को मुक्त कर सकते हैं। इसके लिए फिर हमने बहुत सी चीजें थी कि जब वैक्सीन आएगा तो इस वैक्सीन के साथ हम कैसे इसको मेंटेन करेंगे, क्योंकि ये भी एक टास्क था हमारे लिए। लेकिन मैं टीम का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ, और इसलिए करना चाहती हूँ क्योंकि उन्होंने मुझे टाइम टू टाइम एक एक ब्रीफिंग दी, एक एक चीज हमको समझाई। मेरी CNO मेरे साथ लगी रही, वो भी रात और दिन मेरे को बताती रहती थी कैसे करना है नीलम, कैसे करना है। मैं उस टीम का भी धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ कि जो टीम वहां पर बैठ के सब देख रही थी, कर रही थी, क्योंकि उस समय जब हमारा स्टाफ तो लगा के चला गया था, लेकिन जब हमने फ्रंट लाइन वाले जब हमारे पास आए तो उनके अंदर जो था वो बस यही सोचते थे हमारा पहले लग जाए, हमारा पहले लग जाए, हमारा पहले। हमने उसकी भी रोकथाम करी। लेकिन मैं हर चीज को देखती हूँ कि जो भी चीजें यहाँ पर हुई हैं वो बहुत ही बेस्ट हुई हैं और सक्सेसफुल हुई हैं। कोई भी चीज में कभी भी कोई रुकावट अभी तक नहीं आई है, क्योंकि मैं आज तक देख रही हूँ कि जो चीज हमने पहले से स्टार्टिंग में जैसे शुरू करा था कि किस तरीके से लोग प्री वेटिंग एरिया में बैठेंगे, वो बैठते हैं। उसके बाद जब नंबर आता है तो अपने कार्ड को लेके सिस्टर के पास जाते हैं, बूथ में जाते हैं, और जब जाते हैं तो वहां पर भी हमने बहुत एक ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम पहले से सेट कर रखा था कि हमको वहां पे कैसे काम शुरू करना है, क्योंकि ये कोई ऐसी बात नहीं थी कि क्योंकि लोगों के डर को भी हमको हटाना है। जब वो हमारे पास पर्सन आते हैं, बैठते हैं वैक्सीन लगाने के लिए, उस समय हम उनके कार्ड को देखते हैं, उसमें ये देखते हैं कि इनका नाम, इनका एड्रेस, इनका फोन नंबर सब कुछ ठीक है कि नहीं ठीक है। फिर उसके बाद हम उनको समझाते हैं कि आपको कोई बीमारी तो नहीं है, क्योंकि कुछ बीमारी में ऐसा है कि वो ना पता हो, लेकिन उससे पहले वो डॉक्टर हैं, वहां पे रहते हैं और वो डॉक्टर पूरा सब देख के फिर हमारे पास भेजते हैं। फिर भी हम सोचते हैं कि ये कुछ कहीं इधर से उधर कुछ वो ना हो जाए, तो हम उनसे पूछते हैं। उसके बाद लगाने के बाद फिर हम उनसे बहुत सी चीजें, पहले तो यही था कि प्रेग्नेंट लेडी को नहीं लगता था, लैक्टेटिंग मदर को नहीं लगता था, लेकिन अभी वो भी सारी चीजें खत्म हो चुकी हैं, अब तो सबको लग रहा है। और बहुत खुशी की बात है कि ये जो वायरस है, इसको मारने का एक ही तरीका है, और मैं आप सबसे एक ही अपील करती हूँ कि आप आइए और वैक्सीन लगवाइए। वैक्सीनेटेड होना बहुत जरूरी है। अगर वैक्सीनेटेड नहीं होंगे तो हम कोरोना वायरस को कभी नहीं हरा सकते हैं। ये वायरस बहुत स्पीडली से फैलता है और इसको कोई भी रोक नहीं पाता है। रोकने का तरीका यही है कि मैं हर एक से यही अपील करती हूँ, गुजारिश करती हूँ कि आप लोग आइए, डरिए मत। अब डर खत्म हो चुका है। जितने लोगों को वैक्सीन मिल रहा है, सब लोग अपने आप को फ्री समझते हैं और उनको कोई डर नहीं होता है, क्योंकि वो अपने आप को वैक्सीनेट कर चुके हैं उस वायरस से लड़ने के लिए। क्योंकि जब तक आप वैक्सीन नहीं लेंगे, तब तक आपके एंटीबॉडीज रेज नहीं होंगे, तब तक आपकी इम्यूनिटी गेन नहीं होगी, और तब तक आप उस वायरस से लड़ नहीं पाएंगे, और नहीं लड़ पाएंगे तो आप बीमार होंगे। हो भी सकता है कि आगे देखा है आपने कि जैसे सेकंड स्टेज आई थी, कैसे लोगों को लेकर गई है, उसी तरीके से कहीं आपका ये हाल ना हो। उससे बचने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत अच्छा इंतजाम कर रखा है, और वो है वैक्सीन। वैक्सीन को आप जरूर लगाइए। चाहे वैक्सीन हमारे एसजीपीजीआई में आप लोग आइए, एसजीपीजीआई में बहुत अच्छा अरेंजमेंट है और बहुत ही अच्छी तरीके से लगाया जाता है, बहुत रिस्पेक्टफुली लगाया जाता है। यहाँ की जितनी भी नर्सिस है, सबको सब पता है, उनको एक एक चीज के बारे में पता है। मैं आगे आपको बताऊंगी कि हम लोग जब वैक्सीन आती है तो हम उसकी कैसे केयर करते हैं और कैसे लगाते हैं और कैसे डिस्पोज करते हैं और कैसे रिटर्न करते हैं गवर्नमेंट को, क्योंकि ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है। क्योंकि लोगों के दिलों में यही होता होगा कि कैसे आता है, कहाँ पड़ा रहता है, कैसे होता है, लेकिन नहीं, आप लोग बिल्कुल मत डरिए, बिल्कुल नहीं, क्योंकि हर एक जो भी वहां पर वैक्सीनेटर बैठा है उसको सारी नॉलेज है कि वो कैसे लगाना है, कितने ml लगाना है, कैसे कोल्ड चेन को मेंटेन करना है, कितनी देर तक करना है, कैसे करना है, इस सारी चीजों का वहां पर पता है, क्योंकि हम लोग सब लोग कर रहे हैं। और बहुत अच्छा लगता है काम करते हुए, क्योंकि एक नई चीज थी हमारे सामने, एक नया चैलेंज था, लेकिन उसको हमने सक्सेसफुली बनाया। और एडवर्स के लिए हमने यहाँ पर 2 आईसीयू भी बनाए हुए हैं। आईसीयू में फुली इक्विपमेंट है, वहां पर वेंटिलेटर, मॉनिटर, इन्फ्यूजन पंप और एक एक चीज, SpO2 सब कुछ है वहां पर। अगर किसी को कोई भी एडवर्स रिएक्शन होता है तो हम उसको तुरंत वेटिंग एरिया से हम आईसीयू में शिफ्ट करते हैं और वहां पर ले जाके उनका वाइटल चेक करते हैं। उनको जो भी नीड होती है उस समय उनको वो प्रोवाइड करते हैं। ज्यादातर मैंने अभी तक जनवरी टू अभी इतना टाइम मेरे पास हो गया है, लेकिन मैं यही देख रही हूँ कि कोई भी ऐसा एडवर्स नहीं हुआ है जिससे कि हमको ये लगे कि वैक्सीन से डरना है। कोई भी ऐसा एडवर्स, कोई ऐसी अलग से कोई चीज नहीं आई है कि कोई गिरा हो, कोई डेथ हुई हो, या किसी को कोई रिएक्शन ऐसा हो गया हो। अभी तक हमारे एसजीपीजीआई में जितने भी वैक्सीन लग चुके हैं, कोई भी परेशानी नहीं है, किसी को कोई डरने की जरूरत नहीं है। और ना डरें तो ज्यादा अच्छा है, क्योंकि अगर डर है तो वो वायरस आपके पास आएगा। अगर आपने ये बात ठान ली है कि हमको इसको हराना है, तो उसके लिए आपको वैक्सीन लगाना जरूरी है, इम्यूनाइट होना जरूरी है आपको। और मैं बताना चाहती हूँ कि किस तरीके से आप उस कोल्ड चेन को मेंटेन कर सकते हैं। जब हमको पता चला कि वैक्सीन आ रही है, तो सरकार की तरफ से वैक्सीन आई थी और वो सरकार हमको वैक्सीन दे रही है। और थैंक्स करती हूँ मिस्टर योगी का कि जिन्होंने साइंटिस्ट से लेके डॉक्टर से बात करके और काफी मतलब लोगों से बातचीत करके उन्होंने इस वैक्सीन को जल्दी से जल्दी तैयार कराया, क्योंकि बहुत जल्दी वैक्सीन तैयार होने वाली नहीं थी, लेकिन उन्होंने इस चीज को तैयार कराया और देश को बचाने के लिए उन्होंने इतना बड़ा बीड़ा उठाया है। थैंक्स करती हूँ पीएम मोदी के लिए भी कि उन्होंने भी ये सारी चीजें सोची हैं, क्योंकि मैं जानती हूँ कि उनके लिए भी बहुत बड़ा टास्क था, लेकिन उन्होंने इस टास्क को पूरा करने में पूरी अपनी जितनी भी ताकत थी, मैं सोचती हूँ पूरी की पूरी उन्होंने लगा दी है कि किस तरीके से इस देश को बचाया जा सके इस महामारी से। और बस एक ही तरीका था, वो है वैक्सीन। और मैं बताना चाहती हूँ आपको कि जब वैक्सीन यहाँ पर आया तो हम उसको रिसीव करने गए और रिसीव करते हैं और उसके बाद हम उसको देखते हैं, काउंट करते हैं, और उस वैक्सीन के बॉक्स के अंदर पूरा कोल्ड चेन होता है और वो 2 to 8 डिग्री सेल्सियस के तहत उसको रखा जाता है और उस बॉक्स के अंदर वो सारे वाइल्स होते हैं, वाइल्स को हम गिनते हैं, क्योंकि जितने हमारे जो कि डेली का डेली जो हमारा डाटा होता है उसी के अकॉर्डिंग हमको गवर्नमेंट वो देती है वैक्सीन। और उसके बाद उस कोल्ड चेन को हम जैसे ही उस पेशेंट हमारे पास जब हमारे पास वैक्सीन लगाने के लिए पर्सन आते हैं, कैंडिडेट आते हैं, तो हम उनको बैठाते हैं। बैठाने के बाद उनसे पूरी पूछ लेते हैं, पूरा उनका रजिस्ट्रेशन देख लेते हैं कि उनका हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है। अगर नहीं हुआ है तो उनको वापस करते हैं, क्योंकि उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट से ही एक हमको कार्ड मिलता है, इसलिए रजिस्टर्ड होना जरूरी है। और वो जो पोर्टल के द्वारा हम लोग करवाते हैं, नहीं होता है तो करवाते हैं, हो जाता है तो कोई बात नहीं, क्योंकि आजकल ऑनलाइन सब कुछ हो रहा है। आप डरिए मत, ऑनलाइन लगे रहिए, भीड़ है पता है, लेकिन आप लगे रहिए, एक दिन आपकी जरूर जीत होगी। आप उसको जो है अपने को रजिस्टर्ड कराइए और उसके बाद आप हमारे पास आइए अपनी डेट लेके, हम उस डेट में आपको देखेंगे, उस दिन आपको वैक्सीन करेंगे। और वैक्सीन के लिए मैं आपको बताना चाहती हूँ कि बिल्कुल डरने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि जो वैक्सीन है बिल्कुल सेफ है और ठीक से रखी गई है। ये मत अपने दिल में रखिए कि कब कहाँ कैसे नहीं, जब वो आती है हमको ट्रेनिंग दी गई है, जब वो आती है और हम उस बॉक्स को खोलते हैं, जैसे ही हम एक वाइल को निकाल लेते हैं उसके बाद उसको बंद कर देते हैं ताकि कोल्ड चेन मेंटेन रहे। उसके बाद हम उसको निकालते हैं। सबसे पहली चीज यही है कि हम उसको देखते हैं, उसका कोल्ड चेन देखते हैं, उसकी एक्सपायरी देखते हैं, उसका वो देखते हैं कि उसकी एक्सपायरी तो नहीं है, वो क्लियर है कि नहीं है। जब हम देख लेते हैं तभी हम उसको लगाते हैं, 0.5 ml उसको लगाते हैं। और उसके बाद उनसे बोलते हैं कि आपको अगर कोई भी चीज, अगर फीवर आता है कोई बात नहीं, दर्द होता है कोई बात नहीं, रेडनेस होती है तो कोई बात नहीं, ये 3 चीजें अगर होती हैं तो ये नॉर्मल है। इसके लिए आप पैरासीटामोल ले सकती हैं 6-6 घंटे से। इसके अलावा अगर आपको कोई भी ऐसी चीज होती है जैसे कि सांस फूलना या गिरना या चक्कर आना, तो आप जो भी हमारे यहाँ डॉक्टर हैं, डॉक्टर अलका हैं, उनको कॉल कर सकती हैं, जो भी डॉक्टर अमित गोयल उनको, धीरज को, या कोई भी नहीं मिल रहा है तो आप मुझको कॉल करिए। मैंने अपने हर जगह नंबर दे रखा था, आप मुझे कॉल करिए, मैं डॉक्टर से बात करके आपको बताऊंगी कि आपको क्या करना है। डरने की जरूरत नहीं है। एसजीपीजीआई में कभी कोई ऐसा केस नहीं हुआ कि वैक्सीन से कोई भी एडवर्स हमको प्रॉब्लम आई होगी, कुछ नहीं हुआ है। इसीलिए आपको मैं यही एक अपील है कि अगर आपको ये लग जाता है तो आप ये मत सोचिए कि आपकी सावधानी हट गई। आपको 3 चीजों का हमेशा इस चीज के लिए करना है। आपको मास्क लगाना है वैक्सीन के बाद, आपको सैनिटाइज करना है, आपको दूरी बना के रखनी है। और जब तक आपको ऐसा ज्यादा काम ना हो तो आप बाहर ना निकलिए। ज्यादा आप लोग मिले जुले रहेंगे तो वायरस आपके ऊपर अटैक नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि ये डायरेक्ट आपकी बॉडी पर अटैक करता है और आपको हानि पहुंचाता है। मैं बस यही अपील करना चाहती हूँ कि जिन लोगों को अभी तक वैक्सीन नहीं लगी है, आप प्लीज बाहर निकलिए और अपने को रजिस्टर्ड कराइए और अपने को वैक्सीनेट कराइए, ताकि हम इस महामारी को वैक्सीन के द्वारा इसको इस देश से खत्म कर सकें। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू नीलम जी। हम लोग जानते हैं कि नर्सिंग पर्सनल ने किस तरह से दिन रात लगा के वैक्सीनेशन प्रोग्राम को सफल बनाया है एसजीपीजीआई में। हम आपका धन्यवाद देते हैं और पूरे एसजीपीजीआई और लोगों के बिहाफ से थैंक यू सो मच अपने वर्ड्स कहने के लिए, हमको एक्सपीरियंस कराने के लिए कि कैसे कैसे किस तरीके से वैक्सीनेशन प्रोग्राम एसजीपीजीआई में कंडक्ट हुआ। नाउ मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी डॉक्टर रूपाली खन्ना, who is from the Department of Cardiology. She will present her views on the role of a consultant in providing COVID vaccine education. Dr. Rupali Khanna.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, Rupali.
Yeah, ma'am. I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. I think my job is partly done by all the earlier speakers because they have given all the views which I'm going to present in my few slides, but few topics in which how we are being a consultant should encourage people to go for vaccination. So what is this fear and anxiety during vaccinations? Why people are not coming up very frequently to get it vaccinated? There are two queries. Since past few months, I am associated with vaccination program, we're staying at the vaccination center. And the general public, if you ask them, they have two questions, whether I am fit for enough to take the jab. And I think there are side effects with COVID-19 vaccine, and I should avoid them. So as a role of a consultant, whether you are sitting in your OPD, whether you're taking your rounds, whether you are in the vaccination center, our work is to first and foremost is allay this anxiety and hesitancy that this vaccine is safe, as I was earlier told by all the two speakers, and the side effects, whichever they are listening, these are basically, we can say, overinflated, or if it is not so common, which we are being told. Second important thing is we have to, being a faculty, we have to look for the medical history, that what are the different diseases he is having underlying. And third, fourth, and most important is encouraging to get vaccinated. That means first, any patient which is coming in your contact or the relative which is coming in your contact, you should ask them to get vaccinated. And the people who are getting vaccinated, they should be encouraged to get spread in their social group or friends that they should get vaccinated. So what are the usual frequently asked questions when we are say in a vaccine center? So there are 3-4 points which usually patient comes up with to us, that I am recently recovered from COVID. Is it very safe to take this vaccine or should I wait? So the recommendation by the Indian government is at present that if you have recently recovered from COVID or you have received any plasma therapy or going for any antibody therapy, then it is always better to wait for 12 to 18 weeks before going for this COVID vaccination. And it is needed because it emanates the booster immunity, and it should not be that I have got already COVID and it should not be vaccinated. Second most important are the comorbid patients. They say, I am a cardiac patient, I am on dual antiplatelet, I am on blood thinners, should I go for vaccination? So whatever it is, the cardiac patient, these are all high risk patients. These are patients with having underlying heart failure, underlying coronary artery disease. So despite of these antiplatelet, the development of hematoma is very rare in these cases, so they should not be advised not to go for vaccination. Third important patients are who are immunocompromised, whether they are post-transplant, cancer patients, autoimmune disorder. They say, I am already having low immunity, should I go for this vaccination? Again, that's not recommended. The earlier was lactation. Initially, when the program started, the lactating mothers were excluded from the program, but the data recently have shown that these have no harm in getting these patients vaccinated. And yesterday only, the ICMR came up with that the pregnant females, because during the second wave, the pregnant females developed severe complications. And since this vaccine is the only safe for us, the ICMR gave a clearance to these pregnant females should go for vaccination. So these are the recommendations by our Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The other thing is that going for other COVID vaccinations, especially the patient pregnant, go for tetanus vaccine and all that. So they have mentioned that at least the gap between any two vaccines should be at least 2 weeks to be advised in these patients. In the screening part, I think the patient should be always look for any history of allergy, either anaphylaxis to any pharmacotherapy or a prior vaccination, or if he is having recent ongoing fever, cold and cough, these patients should not be vaccinated. If you have a bleeding disorder or you are any anticoagulant, either in the form of your vitamin K anti-antagonist or NOAC, these patients are not contraindicated, and the special precautions should be taken going for these vaccination. So in the special precautions, we should always advise that these patients should undergo vaccination, a deep IM injection should be given, and a little gentle prolonged compression should be advised in these patients. They should not massage it, and if there is any swelling in the form of hematoma or redness, they should immediately contact us. What about the other fear is your side effects. Usually patients say, we have listened on the news channels that there has been one death which happened post-vaccination, or their patient developed a chest pain or MI. or patient have some seizures or neurological complications. So there are complications, but these are very rare complications. We should tell to the patient these happens in 1 in lakhs or 1 in million, their patients. So the rest of the patients are okay. And if you see the risk benefit ratio, the benefit is better to have this vaccine rather risking yourself just to save yourself from any adverse event. So if you will explain to the patient prior to getting vaccinated, okay, what are the symptoms which you might develop post-vaccination, and these are normal phenomena, patient, the anxiety will go away. So the usual protocol which we advised by the government of India is that in the vaccination center, they have to stay for 30 minutes. This 30 minutes time period is basically any vaccine which is ever given to the patient. It causes vaccine related anxiety. So if you ask the patient if you have any following symptoms of lightheadedness or nausea, or vomiting, sweat, clammy, this is mostly our anxiety related reaction. So if you prime these patients, then development of these symptoms will not create a panic in these patients. And these patients should be told, okay, only you have to lie down. And most of the patients usually recover from these things. And as already told, we are doing for vaccination for past 6 months, and we have never seen any life-threatening reaction in these patients during this 30 minutes time period. Again, we have to tell these patients, okay, when you get vaccine, you might develop some minor symptoms like in the form of either fever, or you might have some mild pain at the infection site, or you may have a little malaise. But these usually are self-limiting. We all know any vaccination, like in kids also, when we give for vaccination, they all have these fever thing. So if you prime these patients prior to it, their panic level will decrease. So these are usually self-limiting, but yeah, we have to tell them if they develop these fevers high grade for more than 3 days, or if there is any pain, swelling, or in the form of inflammation, there is redness over the site of injection, or you develop any neurological complication or chest pain, it's always better to consult your healthcare facility, whichever is nearest to you. It's not necessarily you have to come here only, whichever is nearest facility, so you can get a primary care. And Government of India has started a state helpline number also, so you can tell your symptoms in that. But telling these side effects, again, we have to emphasize again that these serious adverse events are very, very rare, less than 0.01%. And these most symptoms are mild, they are self-limiting, they resolve within 2 to 3 days. So this fear of getting the vaccine side effects should not make you question to take the jab. Third and most important part of the consultant sitting is the encourage for vaccination. Now, since non-COVID work has started, we are seeing our OPDs, we are seeing inpatients. So we at OPD level also, we should encourage the patients who come to us, okay, whether you have got vaccinated or not. You have got vaccinated, not vaccinated, get yourself vaccinated. You don't have any contraindication to get vaccinated. Encourage their relatives to get vaccinated. And recently, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare started a toolkit in which they have asked these young people who are getting vaccinated, spread a social message, spread like your selfie, take your repeat your experiences with the other people so that they should come forward with vaccination. Rather spreading the fear in the patients in the form of maybe side effect and all that, they should spread positivity so that these patients can come more forward in the general public for getting vaccinated. So in concluding, a consultant should always allay anxiety. They remove the doubts, whatever the myths and facts which have been there, the clarification should be there. The need for vaccination should be emphasized in these patients, and you should encourage these patients and the patient relatives to get vaccinated whenever we're sitting in our OPDs or IPDs. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rupali. We understand that it is an ongoing effort has to be made by the consultants and all staff of all the staff which is related to patients, the healthcare professionals, to educate people related to vaccination. You have brought about very important points which are very important. We have to keep on telling them in the OPDs also that it is important for them to get vaccinated if they have not got vaccinated, or also take the second dose if they've just taken the first dose. Thank you, Dr. Rupali. Now we move on to the other speaker, that is Ms. Indu Kumari. She'll be presenting her views as a lay person. She's a lab technician in the Department of Gastroenterology at SGPG IMS and will be talking about COVID vaccination in the eyes of a lay person. How do they look at it?
Unmute कर लीजिए मैम.
Good afternoon, everyone. Is I'm audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Indu Kumari, and today I'm here to tell what are the layperson perception about COVID-19 vaccine. So I may go to many people and ask about them, about COVID-19 vaccine, layperson perceptive. So I have been asked from many people, mostly that which vaccine is best and which vaccine is so effective and what are the less side effects of vaccine. So as we all know that in India, till today, only 2 vaccines are available, that is Covaxin and Covishield. Covaxin is a inactivated vaccine and Covishield as a viral vector adenovirus vaccine. So both the vaccine teaches to prepare a defense mechanism against the active virus. So we cannot say that which vaccine is best. Both the vaccine has almost similar efficacy rate, that is 70 to 80%. So whichever vaccine is available at your area, just go and take it, because after vaccination, you will save yourself and the risk of the infection will be low. As we come to the side effects, which vaccine has less side effects? So as per the guidelines, it has been said that कि कौन से vaccine का side effect कम है, because both the vaccine have almost similar side effects. Like there are 2 types of side effects, that is local side effects and systemic side effect. In local side effects, we can say that almost every person face local side effect, that is a swelling, where the vaccination has been taken in the part of the body, the part is swollen. So every person will face that. And the systemic side effect is like fatigue, fever, nausea, vomiting, headache. These are some systemic side effects, जो कि हर तीसरे से 1% में पाया जाता है. Almost 10 to 35% will affect this side effects. So and the next question is, side effect अगर हमें नहीं हो रहे हैं तो क्या वैक्सीन प्रॉपर्ली वर्क कर रही है? Yes, if the side effect is not has been there, तो वैक्सीन स्टिल वर्क करती है, बिकॉज सबकी हर एक इंडिविजुअल की इम्यून सिस्टम डिफरेंट रिस्पॉन्स करती है. तो इट डजंट मीन कि आप पे साइड इफेक्ट्स नहीं हो रहे तो वैक्सीन काम नहीं कर रही है. वैक्सीन इज स्टिल वर्किंग, सो डोंट बी एक्सेप्टिकल अबाउट इट. अगर आपको श्योर होना है कि वैक्सीन काम कर रही है कि नहीं, तो जस्ट गिव योर ब्लड सैंपल फॉर द एंटीबायोटिक टेस्ट. Now the next question is that कि after vaccination भी हमें COVID-19 इन्फेक्ट हो रहा है. तो yes, after vaccination भी COVID-19 वायरस हमें हो रहा है. तो it doesn't mean कि vaccination के बाद आप बिल्कुल सेफ हो जाएंगे, कोई रिस्क नहीं होगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. After vaccination we have to take all the major steps to save yourself. You have to wear your mask, you have to make social distancing, you have to sanitize yourself as per possible. तो yes, इफेक्ट होता है, इन्फेक्ट होता है आफ्टर वैक्सीनेशन भी, और जो इन्फेक्शन होता है वो बहुत माइल्ड होता है, इतना रिस्क नहीं होता है और कैजुअलिटीज नहीं होती है, ट्रैजिक नहीं होता है. इट्स जस्ट अ माइल्ड इफेक्ट. सो या दिस इज ऑल. एंड द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दैट कि अभी हमारे इंडिया में अबव 18 वैक्सीनेशन हो रहा है, 18 एज के अबव भी वैक्सीनेशन हो रहा है. तो क्या बच्चों के लिए वो सेफ है? तो इससे कोई साइड इफेक्ट्स तो नहीं होगा और कुछ मेजर कैजुअलिटीज तो नहीं होंगी बच्चों के लिए? यस, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है कि आफ्टर वैक्सीनेशन बच्चों में कि काफ़ी कैजुअलिटी हो जाएंगे, ऐसा नहीं है. बच्चों में भी साइड इफेक्ट्स होते हैं जो कि एडल्ट फेस कर रहे हैं, वो बच्चे भी फेस करेंगे, जो कि कपल ऑफ डेज में वो खत्म हो जाता है. कपल ऑफ डेज में इट विल बी लाइक ऑल नॉर्मल, बैक टू लाइफ. ज़्यादा मेजर प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी. इफ ज़्यादा मेजर प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, यू हैव टू कंसल्ट योर डॉक्टर अबाउट इट. द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज कि आप इतना ज़्यादा म्यूटेंट स्ट्रेन आ गया है तो क्या वैक्सीन उसमें वर्क करेगी कि नहीं करेगी? तो यस, इतना म्यूटेंट स्ट्रेन हो रहा है, वेरिएंट आ रहे हैं वायरस के. तो अभी तक देखा गया कि यूके म्यूटेंट स्ट्रेन जो है वो बहुत ट्रांसमिशन है, बट वैक्सीन इज वर्किंग प्रॉपरली. वैक्सीन अपना काम कर रही है. इट डजंट मीन कि आपको वेट करना है कि कोई और वैक्सीन आ जाए वो लगवाएंगे. इट डजंट मीन एनीथिंग. यू हैव टू गो टू द प्लेस, यू हैव टू गो टू द सेंटर एंड जस्ट टेक द वैक्सीन, बिकॉज वैक्सीन लेने के बाद ही आप थोड़ा सेफ फील रिलैक्स कर सकते हैं. द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज कि क्या वैक्सीन लेने के बाद नॉर्मल लाइफ हमारी हो जाएगी, वी कैन रिज्यूम आवर नॉर्मल लाइफ और ऑल। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आफ्टर वैक्सीनेशन आपकी नॉर्मल लाइफ हो जाएगी, आप यू कैन गो हेयर एंड देयर, यू कैन रोम अराउंड, और यू कैन नॉट वेयर योर मास्क एंड यू कैन नॉट मेक एनी सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आप बैक टू नॉर्मल लाइफ हो जाएगी, ऐसा नहीं है। इट जस्ट अ वैक्सीन इज अ टूल दैट विल इम्पैक्ट ऑन पेंडेमिक। एक टूल है जो कि इट इज नॉट लाइक कि वो इमिडिएटली वर्क कर लेगा, इट विल टेक सम टाइम टू बिल्ड प्रोटेक्शन। इम्यून सिस्टम को कवर करने में और इम्यून सिस्टम को वर्क करने में थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा। इट्स जस्ट लाइक दिस, और you have to take all the measure steps to prevent yourself from the virus. And the next question is कि क्या प्रेग्नेंट लेडी वैक्सीनेशन करवा सकती हैं, क्या उन पे साइड इफेक्ट्स तो नहीं होंगे? तो yes, pregnant lady, as per the guidelines we have seen that कि pregnant lady भी vaccination ले सकती हैं, as such कोई भी issue नहीं आ रहे हैं इसमें। So yes, the vaccination is very important. Vaccination आपको लेनी चाहिए. That can only the tool, that can only the thing you from which you can save yourself. आप अपने को सेव करेंगे, अपनी फैमिली को सेव करेंगे, आसपास के लोगों को सेव करेंगे। और you have to wear your mask and you have to make social distancing and you have to sanitize yourself as much as possible. So vaccination is the only thing that can save yourself and you can save other people also. Thank you.
थैंक यू इंदु। आपने बहुत ही सरल क्वेश्चंस के माध्यम से कोशिश करी उनको आंसर भी करा, ताकि लोग समझ पाएं कि वैक्सीन से रिलेटेड जो भी लोगों के दिमागों में क्वेरीज आती हैं उनके आंसर्स आपने बहुत अच्छे से दिए। थैंक यू सो मच। नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट डॉक्टर सोनाली वर्मा, हु इज अ सीनियर रेजिडेंट इन द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एंडोक्रिनोलॉजी. She will talk about a very pertinent topic, that is COVID appropriate behavior. We need to understand that we need to follow the COVID appropriate behavior for times to come, and it is almost like a social vaccine. Even when we have had 2 doses of our medical vaccine or even a booster, we need to keep on following this behavior and follow this social vaccine. Over to Dr. Sonali Verma. She will be talking about the topic.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would be talking about COVID appropriate behavior. That is called a social vaccine. So we all are aware that COVID pandemic has led to some unprecedented and unanticipated challenges which require collective action and support from all of us. Although very necessary measures have been taken by the government, state government and central governments, but still it is very important to constantly reinforce the importance of COVID appropriate behavior. So as to deal with this disease over a long run. Basically, as first wave gone down, so everybody lowered their guard, started roaming without mask, without any and did not follow any COVID appropriate behavior. So basically, it is urged to not to let your guard down and to follow the COVID appropriate behavior. So I'm going to list down some of the practical behavioral practices which are to be followed and which are very critical to be followed for so as to curb the spread of COVID-19. And these acts are going to act as a social vaccine so as to limit the spread of COVID virus. And whatever I'm telling is nothing new, because everywhere over this 1.5 years, everybody has listened to all these things, but it's just that we stop following these things whenever the number of cases go down. So some of the important practical tips which I'm going to discuss are: first is to greet without physical contact. So avoiding and limiting the physical contact and greeting without physical contact is a very important thing, because doing namaste is better than to do a handshake. So this is going to limit the spread of COVID-19. Second is to maintain physical distance. So for last 1.5 years, we have been listening to this caller tune all the time, "Do gaj ki duri, mask hai zaruri." So I think this slogan needs to be emphasized each and every time wherever you go, and even after the COVID gets over. And we believe that COVID is going to get over. But even if we get vaccinated, we have to follow the social distancing norm and to follow this 2 gaj ki duri, that is 6 feet distance. And especially if we are going to we are sitting in any room, any office, we are doing any essential travel or anything, we need to follow this. This is very important for doctors as well, because we go into contact with patients, but we need to follow that as much as possible. We have to follow. If we are going in front of the patient, then of course we cannot maintain 2 gaj ki duri. We have to take other measures, sanitization, using sanitizer, double mask, gloves, face shield, everything has to be used by doctors. Then the importance of mask comes, which is a single use mask has to be thrown just after a single use, and either of for the general public or whenever you are at home, use a face cover and handmade mask or handmade face cover. Anything can be used, but mask is very important. Then the fourth and the most important thing I wanted to tell is we keep on inadvertently start to touch the front of the mask. The nose clip of the mask is not over our nose, and we keep on touching the front of the mask. So this has to be followed, and we should not touch the front of the mask. Nose clip should be on the nose. And for some of the important occasions where we actually should be using mask is during in any public place, in any room, any meeting, or if we are having any cough, cold or flu, then we should of course wear mask. Then important is we keep on touching our eyes, nose and mouth, which is a normal tendency of everyone. So we the hands keep on touching some of the surfaces which are contaminated with the germs or any kind of viruses, and they are going to spread to eyes, nose and mouth. So this thing is important, not to touch, and avoid as much as possible touching the eyes, mouth and nose. Then is maintain respiratory hygiene. Whenever you are coughing or sneezing, use a tissue handkerchief. If you are not having such a thing with you, then please use the bent of the elbow to, if you are coughing or sneezing, and immediately wash your hands with soap and water and an alcohol-based sanitizer. Then we should follow the slogan of "Apni Suraksha Apne Haath." That is your hands are your safety is in your hands, and it actually literally means, because you should wash your hands frequently as much as possible. Any surfaces which you think are contaminated, and whatever is possible, how many times a day you can do it, you wash your hands frequently and thoroughly. Then we should regularly clean or disinfect the frequently touched surfaces. Then another thing is, do not spit in open. Of course, it is a thing punishable by law, but we should also know that if we are going to spit in the open, it is going to spread infection to other people, and it is going to spread the risk of COVID-19. Then another thing important is to avoid unnecessary travel. And if you cannot avoid travel, then you can just follow all the social distancing norms, and wearing a face mask and using frequent sanitizing of the hands, and if the travel is necessary. Then another thing is, do not discriminate with anyone, because if you discriminate, then this becomes a stigma for the person who is having COVID. They would not, even if they have symptoms, they would not come up with the symptoms, because they would be hesitant to show up that they have COVID. So do not discriminate with anyone who has COVID, because it has been a very stressful situation for everyone, for whoever has been infected by COVID or their families. They went through so much. So do not discriminate at all. And I would really say to have compassion, assurance, respect and encouragement for everyone who has been on the front line, be it doctors, nurses, police or sanitization workers, who have done their best 24/7 for this 1.5 years. Then I would, another point to be thought about is to discourage crowd. Although some meetings cannot be postponed or cancelled, but but we can avoid going to social gatherings as much as possible. And if it cannot be cancelled at all, then we can just limit the number of guests to bare minimum, so that the transmission in a closed area is decreased. Then we have, over this 1.5 years, we have also noticed that social media in on one hand it helps in spreading some news, but it also becomes a curse when it comes to spreading very wrong information. So do not post anything on social media if it's a unverified information or a negative information. And please get to seek COVID-19 information from credible sources only, from Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, or from credible sources from internet, so as to not to spread any wrong news related to COVID vaccine or COVID as such. Then there are some toll-free numbers also given on internet, for in case of any queries, in case of any queries, you can talk to your doctor. In case you do not have any help, so there are state and central government toll-free numbers for which are used. And lastly, we should not underestimate the importance of psychosocial support during this time. We all know this has been a very stressful time for COVID and because of lockdown for some people. So psychosocial support is very important. And lastly, I would just say, go get vaccinated, because vaccination is of course very important, and vaccination plus social vaccine is going to do the work for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sonali. It was a very nice presentation on social vaccine, because we have to understand one fact, that it is not just the vaccine which the people are getting, that exercise can be a waste if we do not practice the social vaccine, which is the COVID appropriate behavior. And you very rightly stressed on all the aspects of COVID appropriate behavior. Thank you very much for a very nice presentation. Now we had a very comprehensive program today on COVID vaccination, myths, facts. We had some representation of the nursing personnel, the lab technicians. We had some faculty deliberating on these topics today. So if we have some time, we can take a few questions, sir.
Yes, we can. I think there are few questions.
Right.
I think one thing is the social vaccine. I would say the Sonali has done a very good job. I think this is the one vaccine that gives you the definite protection. If you are properly wearing the mask, keeping the distance also, and sanitizing your hand, that is a very important thing. And there are many asymptomatic people without knowing his status, whether the COVID positive or not. If those persons got vaccinated, then what are the possibilities for the complication? The answer is there is no possibility for the complication, number one, and there is no need to know the status of the RT-PCR before going for the vaccination. Okay. There are no global studies or scientific analysis that shows an adverse impact of the vaccine on a mildly infected or asymptomatic person if taken within the viral incubation period. That's true. What is the duration of the immunity in case of the Covishield and the Covaxin? I, Dr. Geeta Singh, Assistant Professor from ASMC Bahraich. A person has taken COVID vaccine, then after how many days he took tetanus vaccine? Anytime. Tetanus vaccine is a different vaccine and meant for a different thing. You cannot wait for that. So you can have the another vaccine because these two vaccines, they do not interact also. I think it is very safe to take the tetanus vaccine, even you have taken a day before. Vikas Agarwal to everyone. Duration of the immunity follows the vaccination is a matter of the study even now. It is believed and speculated that it may last for 12 to 15 months, but more time is needed before knowing exactly. CDC has recently recommended that all other vaccines may be taken simultaneously with COVID-19. That's what I have answered also to you. This is a very nice question. And if you look at the other vaccinations, since I am a hepatologist, I'll give you the examples with the hepatitis B vaccine. So you do not get 100% protection even with that vaccine. So maximum after 3 doses, you get the protection of the 97%. And still 3% left out. Who are those 3%? 3% person? These are the very elderly persons whose immune system is not that good to generate the adequate response. Another one, those who have the comorbidities, and the most important one is the renal failure, chronic renal failure, and the same vaccines, the response is not more than 65 to 70%. Therefore, they recommend extra doses also. Similarly, other organ failures, they have the less. Those people who have the HIV, they will not have the response also. Means that same kind of the true with other vaccines also. So what I'm trying to say, the COVID vaccination, there is no need to look for the antibodies, but you have to require basically to get the vaccine 2 doses. It is not that everybody in the country should get the vaccinated. No, there is a threshold for getting the herd immunity also. The herd immunity is a factor of the immunity in the society or in a given area or country or anywhere. So that included also the natural infection as well as the vaccination. If you have the higher vaccination, higher infection rate, the vaccination rate may be lower also. So they are the norms also. I have calculated primarily for the India, if the 40 to 50%, if the 50% of the people, they already have infection and develop the immunity, probably you require 48% of the population to be vaccinated also. So and if you have the lower, for example, 20-30%, then you may require the 70% of the population to be vaccinated. So these are the things that you have to look into ultimately to get the herd immunity. What I'm trying to say, if you get the vaccine 2 doses, it is not necessary to get the antibodies, check up whether or not. Another thing I want to reiterate once again, those who have responded to the vaccine means that they have generated some kind of the antibodies. That means these are the responders to the vaccine. Whenever these persons, they will come in contact with the virus once again, they will generate the antibodies. Because Dr. Vikas Agarwal has already told you that you have the memory B cells and they are residing in the bone marrow for a longer, maybe the lifelong time. So I think once again, there should not be any kind of a fear. It should be just like that, as you are taking a cup of tea, you just have a injection on that day for the vaccination. That's all what I'm saying. I think we can conclude now. Thank you so much, everyone over here, and making the program so successful and so beautiful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. And we thank all the speakers. We thank all the audience for the patient listening and giving us some good questions and queries. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.